Good afternoon. This is the Double A with the show this afternoon, and we're going to be talking about the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders and what they're doing, and give you a little bit of an outlook on what they're planning on doing in 2025. With that said, let's get right on into it. Like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, we're going to be talking about Middle Tennessee State, the Blue Raiders, and their football program. Head coach Derek Mason is in his second year, and he's expecting big time results as far as with the wins. And he brought in a number of transfer portal players. He has the starting quarterback coming back, but they finished 3-9 last year, 2-6 in the Conference USA. They're looking at improving on what they did last year. They had a brutal 2024. As a Coach Mason has an experienced squad returning. He has a lot of players returning. They have Nicholas Vadiato, the quarterback, coming back, who's a very good player. Put up big numbers last year, and then of course they had to rebuild their defense, so they added some size and experience across the board. Of course, they lost their top targets to NFL and transfer portal tight end lost to NFL. Added Tyree Patterson from UCF, a wide receiver, and Tavion Galloway, a wide receiver from Purdue. And so, of course, the running backs coming back. Jaden Criddle is back. Well, he's out. Ricky Hunt's going to be getting most of the work. He's transferred from Ohio and Tulsa, and could be a breakout star. Could be a breakout star on defense, and that was a Ricky Hunt. Anthony Bynum, defensive end. I don't really think he's a transfer portal person, but I think Alex Mitchell, linebacker, he's a transfer. And of course, the key games they open up with Austin Peay on the 30th, and then they'll face Wisconsin, Nevada, and the schedule is favorable for Middle Tennessee, and we're gonna look at that real quick. And but it looks like they open up with Austin Peay the first game, and then they go to Wisconsin on the second game, which is on the 6th of September, and then they go to Nevada on the 13th, and then Marshall on the 20th, Kennesaw State on the 27th, and then they have a bye on the 4th of October, and then they come back on the 8th and play Missouri State. And Missouri State, I think, is new to FBS. And then they have another bye on the 18th of October, and then they come back and they play Delaware. Delaware is another new FBS team that went to the Conference USA from the FCS. And then on the 29th, they play Jacksonville State. And Jacksonville State, I think, is in their second year. And Kennesaw's in the second year in the Conference USA also. And then on November the 8th, they play Florida International. And November 15th, they got West Kentucky. And then they got Sam Houston on the 22nd. Sam Houston's another team that I believe they're in their second year in the Conference USA and the FBS. And then, of course, to wrap up the season, they play New Mexico State. So the tough teams that they're facing is probably going to be Wisconsin, and I'd say probably Western Kentucky maybe. Sam Houston always has a pretty good team. So Wisconsin definitely going to be the hardest task coming up. But Middle has done a lot of things to try to improve their recruiting and the experience for fans and so forth. It was mentioned that Middle Tennessee had freed up $662K money. Actually, that was more than K. I think that was I don't know if it was $662 million, but I think it was $662K to help with NIL. Plus the field house or the student athletics room building or whatever, they've done upgrades to it and it's refurbished it. It looks beautiful. They put a lot of money into it, millions of dollars into it, and of course Derek Mason's hoping that's going to help with recruiting at Middle, and then so with that seasoned quarterback, with Vitato coming back, and with portal reinforcements, the outlook for Middle, I believe, it should improve significantly. I think they should have a better season than what they had last year. The key will be converting yardage into points and tightening up the third down defense. They had a lot of issues with third down, stopping teams with third down, and then of course. But anyway, we'll come back with some more information before that big game on the 30th against Austin Peay. And of course, that's a wrap up for Middle. So let's look at the depth chart. Let's look at Middle's depth chart and see. Pop that over there to you and see. Now, if you want to go out and look at this more in depth, you can go out on to our labs and look at what they have. I'm just gonna give you a brief view of this, but basically, all the people in orange is what our lab says are new players, and of course. Looks like they have Nicholas Villatario at quarterback, and then Middlebrook at the running back spot, and Austin Clemens at backing him up, and DJ Taylor backing him up. Looks like the offensive line, one side of the offensive line, is still intact. Looks like all his receivers, I think he lost one to the NFL, but 3 of his receivers were played last year that's there, and he brought in 2 newcomers. Tyree Patterson, that's one of the guys. And then, of course, he brought in a new center, a new guard, right guard, and a new left tackle. And of course, Traylon Galloway is a transfer tight end. So that's kind of what's going on offense. And defense, they replaced the middle linebacker. I think that's the only person that's a transfer on the defense other than Chestnut and Deron Gaston. Both of those guys are transfers in. And then most of the people backing those people up are from last year, players up from last year, with the exception of Jalen Thompson and Kalen Woods and Devon Carlisle. They're all transfers in. So the kicking game, like I said, he brought in a punter, transfer punter, and holder's going to be the same guy, Logan. And they brought in a secondary punter named Aiden Kane. And so he did pretty good in the portal, bringing in players to fill the spots that they needed to fill. And it looks like he's got some depth beyond that second group of players. And of course, the new 105 player rule is helping middle as well as it's helping all the schools, including the FCS schools. And but anyway, the outlook for middle is that they look to improve beyond where they were at 3-9 last year, and try to get to a bowl game and improve on their record from last year. And like I said, Vidiato, he's in his 5th season, so he's a 5th-year senior. He's thrown for 7,525 career passing yards at Middle Tennessee, and he just needs to cut down on the interceptions. He's got a lot of interceptions on his book. But with that said, there's like Derek Mason's in the 2nd year. He's looking to improve on that and do better. And with that said, that's going to end the show for Middle Tennessee. And hopefully I'll have more information down the road. I'm working on getting me a Middle Tennessee hat, and I'll have that the next time I do a show for Middle. And if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. All you Middle Tennessee fans up in Murfreesboro, I'm here in Clarksville. So I'm doing this show. I support about 5 teams in the all Tennessee colleges. With that said, God bless, and we'll see you on the next show.